everybody, especially when you're first like, you know, working on different things to play with a metronome. You're talking about, you know, feeling like when you get harder. Do you ever practice with a metronome? Yeah, so like then you can kind of know, okay, well, I'm slowing down or I'm speeding up. And when I went to Berkeley College of Music for a couple years, and the guy that I studied mandolin with up there, he showed me some really cool ways to use a metronome. And maybe I can show this to you. I think the phone's got enough juice that I could. Oh yeah. Show you something. And I don't do it that often. I don't know if I can even do it very well, but it's interesting, you know, people tend to think, okay, well, a metronome, that can get boring, and, you know, you just click, 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 click to play with. But there's a lot of different ways you can use a metronome and kind of make it fun to work with. So let's see what we got here.
It's good for recording too. Like, I've been recording and my timing will get thrown off sometimes, and you know, if you got a bass player coming in, it just makes it so difficult when your timing isn't
sure, yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like a lot of times you can find players that everybody can play well together, but sometimes it's nice to have something to work with, you know, to practice with. At least to practice with. Doesn't mean you have to do that all the time, but even if you just do sometimes.
Sometimes in a live setting too, you just kind of got to follow the speed of the jam.
Oh yeah.
Somebody might, you know, and it kind of flows in and out, but everybody has a good knowledge of each other, you know what I mean? And, you know
well, that's part of music. I mean, if it was just like this the whole time, how boring is that? You know, sometimes if you go see Ricky Skaggs play, it's fun that everything is just about to fall off the edge fast. You know, it's like it's on the front and it's kind of rushing, but it's kind of fun. Whereas, you know, if you listen to Allison and her band, they play on the far end of the groove, like way laid back, so everything is just completely like in this. Yeah, but it's all about the way that those, you know, that Ron and Barry and Dan play together. You know, it's a certain sound, and if you change the guitar player or you change the banjo player, the groove is going to change, and then you have to sort of, you know, work with that to figure out how to play with a group of people. So. Yeah, so it's good to practice with, but obviously when you go play with other people, you know, just you gotta kind of go. Yeah, you kind of just gotta go with it, and occasionally you'll play with people with great time, and sometimes you won't. So, but one cool thing that John taught me is that, you know, you can use a metronome, and okay, so this is like 120. This is set on 120. So let's think of not da 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 da. Let's not think of it that way. Let's think of this. Da, 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 so a little slower. So, you know, you can either think of this beat as a downbeat or an upbeat. So you have either 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You also have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if you're playing on the downbeat, does that make sense to everybody? You know what I'm saying? So if you're playing on the downbeat, feels a certain way, okay? So like a bass player. So let's reverse that now. Let's think. Now we're on the upbeat. Does that make sense? And. So it's like hard to do. So you work on it to be on the upbeat. So it can be challenging based on what you're used to playing with. You know, if you're used to playing with it on the upbeat or the offbeat. He said he always enjoyed the feel of as though he was playing with another mandolin player to play on the upbeat. Yeah. Some people enjoy the feel of the downbeat. So maybe whichever one you struggle with the most, maybe change it up, and it kind of makes it sort of fun because it's a totally different feeling if you're playing with the upbeat behind you or the downbeat with you. So that's at 120. So here comes the kind of fun yet harder part. So you got to keep this speed in your head. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take half of 120. So now you're getting half as many beats, but we're still going to think of So it's really easy to tell.
So does that slow it down, or is it still?
It doesn't slow it
Still
down.
the same
I'm
speed,
still
right?
playing the same. The metronome is it's still in time, and you're just hearing less beats than you were to start with. So let's bump back up to 120 for a second, and so hear the difference. And you can do this on the downbeat or the upbeat. See the difference? Now that's easier to play with because you got something always going.
Oh.
So let's go the extreme of that. Let's go from 60, like we were just on, to 30. Split it again. And you really know if your time is improving this way. 2 or 3. Okay. See, I'm kind of not with it very good. It's a little fast. See how that is? So it gets more and more challenging. So that can kind of keep you busy working on things. Okay, so now we're at 30. You can even split it to 15. As you know, if you find a number that you can keep dividing like that, 120 is a good one, you know, because you can keep going. So if you go to 15, think of the same speed. It's going to get probably bad on my part, but see, I was off with it. So it's like you really have to try to keep the speed in your mind too, because it's like it's easier to do on something where you can have some presets and you can quickly drop to it, because if you lose the speed, then it's really hard to find again. See what I was saying? So it's really fun to try to challenge yourself no matter what level you're at playing. Or aggravating, yeah. So definitely start with just, playing with the metronome as simply as possible. But, if you think, oh, my time's really good, test yourself that way and you'll find it's really hard to play really, really good times. So.